Flip man, it's the flip man. You want some money in your hand? Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Get that bag.
Boom, we're here. We're live. Show number 177 of this week's Flippinar. We got the full house here with both lovely young ladies here to assist in hopefully bringing some value to allow you to make some money, maybe flip that stimulus check. Don't blow it. Don't blow it. Don't blow it. I was in the mall 2 days ago and
it was cut.
on a Tuesday evening.
You ain't take the stimmy to the mall. I know we ain't take the stimmy to the mall.
Up on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
I know we ain't take the stimmy to the mall.
And I think a lot of people didn't get theirs to Wednesday, actually. It was Tuesday. And so anyway, love that. So we're here to answer your questions about real estate investing with a strong emphasis on wholesaler real estate, where your cash or credit does not matter. Make sure you hammer that like button, share this. Please help someone else. I think that you can by just sharing this information. You help us like this to spread it around. Really quick, you see the banner on the screen if you're on YouTube or Facebook. We're on TikTok and Instagram also. If you have a property under contract and you need a cash buyer for it, you want to partner with me directly, you can submit that to dilator.com. It needs to be under contract, a great deal. Dealing directly with the owner and off market. And my definition of off market, it can't be advertised anywhere on the internet. So enough of me with the shameless plug. Over to you, AP.
All right. As I said, thank you for joining us on this Thursday. You do have the beautiful Miss Renikia joining us live this weekend. Rennie, how you been?
I am awesome. How are you?
I'm well. Again, we said March is flying by.
It is.
Quarter's almost done. Not too late to start, as Ty mentioned. I mean, it is a thing, so you can't go without saying. Some people, most of y'all, got a little extra coins in your pocket. A few extra coins, life altering, almost a deal in itself. So glad you're joining us tonight, where we can answer your questions in regards to wholesaling with little to no cash or credit. But if you got a little cash, it makes it even better, and we'll help you start your wholesaling journey. You ask the questions, I'll read the questions, and Renikia and or Ty will answer the questions. Keep in mind that you can go to flippinar.com to join us live, where you can ask your questions instead of me reading them. That way, if there's follow-up, you're able to go ahead and get all of that in. Marty, I see that you've joined us, but until I see you, your video is linked, I will bring you on then. Until then, you'll just kind of wait in the waiting room. Byron Scott, what's up, everybody? Welcome. Mia, Ace Money, and the young lady from the Hoover Walmart. Ty said she's glad she was able to join.
I'm gonna think of her name. Hold on a second. What did she tell me her name was? It's like a short name, like 4 or 5 letters. Not Sham, but story to start with.
I don't know, because it's just I'll have her tag with Maven.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Well, all right. Tell me what her name is. She works back there in electronics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stands tall for life. June at Cream Youth Hashan. I see all you guys. I see you on TikTok and Instagram. Go ahead and start posting those questions so I can read those. So we're just going to jump right into this thing. We're going to go with Top 5 Thrills, who says, what's going on, guys? My question is, do you put the property under contract before giving it out and before going out and viewing it, or after it's under contract? So you don't ever want to put something under contract before you see it.
No.
Right?
No. Depending on where it is, whatever. So a lot of times at the price, it just, depending on
newbies.
Well, no, even with that, sometimes you can, you have your due diligence period, if you do it right or whatever. Sometimes, this got to be a deal. Something, you know what I'm saying? And then you get out of it, then check out, then you can pull out of it or whatever. But if the numbers work over the phone, most definitely go ahead and email them a contract and get them to sign it. Then, then we'll go from there. You know, but you don't have to wait. And I'm just saying you could go ahead and get that in motion. If they go ahead and sign it, so you send it to them before you see it. Yeah, you can do that. What you think about it, Renika?
I concur. You know, I mean, sometimes you just know your market. Sometimes the market is competitive. You just want to throw that and you throw that contract out there so you can try to at least control the contract. So that happens. You know, but you know, if you're sight unseen, you definitely want to maybe add your due diligence in there a little bit too. So you do have the ability to go and, you know, and do your due diligence to bring an in buyer to the table. But you know, it happens.
All right, so I'm going to play devil's advocate. So we're saying, okay, yeah, put it on the contract, and I've never seen it. But do you expect your buyer to do the same?
Absolutely not. The buyer, the one that, I mean, see, you can do that. You ain't buying it. You put anything on the contract that you're not buying. You feel me? But the one that's buying definitely going to want to do their due diligence. Absolutely. Yeah. You know, so I mean, somebody's gonna have to get inside.
Now, sometimes they know it's a good deal too, and
well, sometimes you're right.
Yeah,
sometimes they're out of market.
Yeah, they'll do the same thing. Yeah, sometimes.
I agree.
Okay, top 5 3.
But I think eventually before they close, somebody got to walk through.
Yeah, somebody gonna lay their eyes on it before they close on it now. Oh yeah.
All right, Mia says, good evening. What would be the main reason you believe a seller would ask during a return call if you're a wholesaler or a cash buyer?
They may have talked to someone that know a little bit more about real estate. They may have reached out to an agent friend. They may have just Googled your phone number. You know, who knows? You know what I'm saying? Normally, and then they may have knew that before they even had the conversation with you. They just didn't ask you or whatever. That's fine or whatever. So, you know, hey, now I'm a cash buyer. And sometimes I do wholesale, but you know, hey, do you want to sell the house or not, man? At the end of the day, I can get you your money. So the way I would respond to that, I'm a cash buyer. You know, boom. You know, I'm a cash buyer. Doesn't matter where the money comes from.
It doesn't.
All right. Okay. So this is from Instagram. Money Motivation says, wholesalers ghosted me after I sent them my list of properties. What else can I do besides bird dogging? So you've gone out there, you drove for dollars, you got all the information, and then you sent this list to somebody
without them being on the contract. Is what
they ain't heard from you. You ain't heard from them at all.
They talking to the seller. That's why.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate you. How do you avoid that though?
And then on the contract.
Well, we're talking. They're the bird dog.
Oh no, they're bird dog. They're bird dog. Oh, they're bird dog. Oh, but you don't.
But we gotta understand, bird dogging is very, very close line to wholesaling. The difference is you just not putting it on a contract.
And you know, you don't want to send them everything. You want to test some people out. Send them one, see how they respond to that or whatever, and then you move forward. You know, you don't want to send them. If you got several, you don't want to send them everything, especially in a bird dog position. You don't want to do that.
And most likely, exactly what they did was they went through the list. They called who they called, and you wouldn't know if they closed on them or not.
Nope.
So it's really, you know, that's a very tough spot to be in, you know, to just send that over, all your leads over, and then you have no, you know, nothing contractual to obligate them to pay you for the leads and things of that nature. So just be careful doing that. That's a lot of work that you're doing on your behalf.
All right, so on TikTok, we have Stand Tall for Life, who says, Ty, they just got PropStream. Dilator.com, aka PropStream, is a wonderful tool to add towards your chest. But their question was, what do I do with it? What do I do next?
Well, I always recommend people before you sign it up for it. There's a video on dilator.com. It says top 10 ways to use the real estate tool or whatever. You want to watch that. If you go to YouTube and do a search for text to flip, you want to watch that. Now, that's going to be a combination of softwares, but it's going to go through how to build a list and the different filters and criteria that I choose or whatever, which you can do more than that, but it just gives you a real feel for it. If you look up the video, Flipman, free deal calculator, that video shows you how to comp using it. If you watch any of the Comps 101 shows, we got 26 of them to date. and we use it through that. So, so you need to do your research on it or whatever. Plus, within the actual service itself, it has tons of videos, it's training videos, but I think I break it down more from a in the trenches point of view or whatever. And hopefully I make it simple enough where you can understand. That's the worst thing you could do is sign up for without going through a number of those videos, because the clock is ticking on your 5-day trial, and you'll get in there and say, well, it's not going to work for me. No, it works. It's some very powerful information, but you need to understand that you have to understand how to use it or whatever. So, and it's not a difficult tool to use it at all, especially when you know what you're looking for.
Okay, hopefully that answered that for you. Let's see here. Terrace Cruz says there are a lot of boarded up houses where I live, but their roofs are cut open. Are those properties worth contracting? No fires.
No roofs on them?
That's wow.
That's weird.
Wow. Wow.
So they're just open?
Those are just shells then.
Yeah.
And a lot of times if it's raining there, it's probably very molded into, but it's all a number game. So girls, fires, no roof, no doors, just land. It's all a numbers game. So run your numbers. If the after repair value makes sense according to the rehab, it's a deal.
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned this earlier, Reniki, and James Jett would like maybe just a little bit more detailed explanation. I'm sorry, of what exactly due diligence means. His question is, what is the due diligence period? What do you do during it? How long is it? Just what is it?
Mm-hmm. And Ty probably bring up the real the real definition of that. But my definition is the due diligence period allows you to do your research, do your evaluations, and not necessarily be penalized by forfeiting your earnest money. So you put your earnest money up, and if you are able to cancel that contract before that due diligence period ends, you're able to get your earnest money back in full. So it protects your earnest money, and it gives you ability to evaluate it before the contract necessarily go hard, I guess.
Boom. So great definition. I'm going to read to you what it means also. Due diligence period usually refers to the time after signing a contract that the buyer has to inspect the property and make a decision whether they want to buy the property or lease the property or otherwise go forward with the transaction. Basically, you want to see if it's worth doing a deal on. For you as a wholesaler, it's just giving you time to figure out if you can find a cash buyer in that time frame, and gives you an opportunity to pull out of the deal without losing your earnest money deposit, no matter how small or large it is or whatever. So basically, but as a buyer, if you actually going to buy a property, then the standard is to have a due diligence or an inspection period, basically the same thing or whatever. You need to check things out, especially if you're buying it to live in. That's the period where you can send in an inspector or whatever to get an inspection on the property. I don't know what else you really want to do. Obviously, through the appraisal, the lender's not going to finance it anyway if it doesn't appraise. But the main thing, you're just checking out, say, hey, even if it has some issues, are those some issues I can deal with or negotiate being repaired by the seller, or negotiate a lesser price to justify whatever issues it may have or whatever. So it's two ways. It's a couple of ways to look at it. And from a wholesaler point of view, it's more just a lot of people say a get out of jail clause or get out of contract clause or whatever, for if you want to look at it that way. So
okay, we're going to go on to the next question, and it's let's see here. The Go-To Guys LLC. So I put an offer in on my first on-market property this week. The ARV was 210, and I put in an offer of 98. The property needed about 40,000 in repair, and they were asking 145 for the property. Basically, the agent said that they took an offer for full list price, but I suspect that he knew I was going to wholesale the property.
So what did he say?
So can I use the cash buyer's EMD?
So what did he say? 210 is the ARV?
Yes.
Yes, 210 was the ARV. He put in an offer of 98.
All right,
Needed
so
about 40,000 in repairs.
40,000 in repairs.
Is it a deal in a while?
No, we ain't did this in a while, have we?
Yeah, it's a deal. He was dealing with the realtor. He wanted to know if he used the cash buyer's EMD to cover the EMD at closing if he didn't have enough money. But I'm confused with what we're really asking here.
Well, the thing on the EMD is not you're using it at closing, is to sign the contract or whatever, right?
Right.
I guess technically it could be maneuvered that way or whatever. Now, if they accept that 98, you're trying to make 10 grand on it. You know, it's right there or whatever, according to the numbers here, you know, based on a 70% in your formula. 210, 40 in repairs. You're at 107. Say you want to make 10, you'll be right at 97. So 98 will work, obviously.
Okay, so let's just finish this scenario. They were asking for 145, and we're dealing with the realtor.
Sorry, I got the thing up.
So I'm confused. Like, so how would that have played out to complete the deal?
Honestly, I think he offered the right price according to the rehab. Now, which is a lowball offer. So all you can do is throw your offer out there, and if they accept it, they don't sell it. But I think according to the rehab and according to the numbers, you know that's a pretty good offer.
Okay. Hopefully the go-to guys that answered your question that you had in there. Hey Charlie, hey Solemn, hi Byron, Rodriguez, Terry, James, KJ, Lady K. I see you guys. Thank you. So KJ says, I just knew I was about to get my first deal. Told the seller I would call them back within 30 minutes to go over the agreement with them. Now they won't pick up the phone. Keep trying. Go on to the next deal. As Ty says, don't
people
fall
get busy. It's life out there. Life is real.
Yeah, some men they just not, ready to deal with that right now. That's happened a lot of times. And it's not that you just don't want to deal with that right now. So until they tell you no, sounds like you had agreed on a price that works for you. You just want to continue to follow up periodically or whatever. So
okay. Marty, I see you've gone out and come back in, but you gotta
activate your video and audio.
Yeah. Okay, so Lady K, we were just talking about PropStream, aka diligence.com or diligence.com, aka PropStream. The question was, do I need PropStream or any similar services before I start wholesaling? Now, Ty said, wholesaling has been a thing, and before these tools ever existed, these tools make wholesaling a whole lot easier. But what services, Ty, would you recommend if they had the subscription money to have these services? What would we start with?
Well, again, it makes it easier. You don't have to have the internet. Hadn't always existed.
Right.
But wholesaling has. If you have the budget for it, and I get it, if you don't, it is what it is. But it just makes the business easier to do because you're able to pull up just simple information about the property, the history of the property, transaction. A lot of times you can see what the seller paid for it, have an idea what they may owe on it. Be able to pull comps, which be simply being able to determine the ARV. You must know that. Now, you don't have to use that particular service to do that with, but it makes it a lot easier. You can pull a list to target sellers and cash buyers or whatever. So do through call, text, email, direct mail is what I mean. And so again, don't need it to do deals, but it makes it a lot easier to do deals. Now, they're not going to do deals for you. Again, it makes it easier to do deals. You still have to take that information and, use it to assist you in putting deals together, finding deals and everything above that. So again, you don't have to have it to do deals. It just makes it easy. I don't know how much plainer I can be on that. So look at to get an idea of it, like I say, look at the video, top 10 ways to use and put Flipman behind your search, or just simply go to dilator.com and that video will explain. It's there on the site. I think it's the first one there. It'll explain how to use it or whatever. So,
all right, thank you for that. And Lady K, hopefully that answered your question. Marlon Fountain says, I found a property in Petersburg, Virginia, worth around $50,000, but may need about $100,000 worth of work. Ooh. Basically a good job. Remodeled homes in the area are valued at $170 to $180. Is that a good deal for a buyer?
is he saying that he can get it for $50,000? Because he said it was worth.
He said it was worth, but I think
50,
he meant.
And then he said it's worth $170. The guy can't be both. I guess he meant he can get it for $50,000,
right,
or whatever. And I guess we'll just throw the calculator. We'll just say it's worth $170.
Okay.
Right. And throw the calculator back up here. I need to move the thing. Yeah.
And what we're doing, guys, we're using the Dilator calculator that's right on dilator.com that you're able to plug and chug your numbers to see if, in fact, you do have a deal. It's not set in stone. It's not concrete.
That's if the numbers are right, and it is going to cost $100 to fix it. Just doing the numbers, you're basically at 19,000 before you even include your money. Or even at 50 is not a deal.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's $100,000.
But you can get it for 19.
Yeah, you can get it for 19.
It works.
Or less.
Right.
You might have you something there, something. Okay. Okay, back on this due diligence. Taylor Nagel, say I don't have a buyer during the 14 days of inspection. If the earnest money is $500, would I pay that if I don't find a buyer then? By then?
Gone. If it's outside your due diligence period,
right? No, the seller and honestly, seller's gonna keep your money. Yes, I don't know too many. I don't know too many sellers are gonna give that earnest money back. So if you have 14 days on that 13th day, just give that 13th or the 14th day. Give them a call and let them know what's going on. Try to get more time. Tell them, hey, you just need another week or whatever the case may be. Try to negotiate. If they don't want to, send them an email so you can create that paper trail and let them know you're canceling your contract so they can return your earnest money.
That's it.
All right, there you have it. Let's see here. Reynard, I found a property and I know that the owner is deceased. I have PropStream and all the info ends with him. There are no other relatives. What do I do next?
Nobody?
Nobody.
No.
I mean, brother.
That's amazing. I guess that's possible. You know what I'm saying? That's possible.
For you to have no family.
Nobody, they say. Wow. I've never experienced that before, so I don't even know.
Well, I don't think he's saying that there is no family. He just doesn't know how to get to the other relatives.
Well, that's different.
That's different.
That's different.
All the information that he has.
So now that's where skip tracing comes into place.
Yeah.
You know, you can use intellus.com, give them a shameless plug here, no affiliation. Let me make sure I'm spelling it right. Intellus.com just doesn't cost that much. I think what, a couple bucks or whatever. And let me see. Boom. Intellus.com. You put in the name, person's first name, last name, city, state, and what it'll do, it's going to give you potential relatives or whatever. Once you have that information, you now can skip trace them. Now, I'm going to always say this: ask the neighbors. You know, a lot of times they know, especially if it's an older neighborhood or whatever. And you know, they may be able to give you some information. Sometimes you have to give them an incentive. Patricia Lewis, we see you in the green room. You need to turn on your video if you want to go live here and get pushed to the front of the line to get your questions answered on the live stream. But I don't know what we're talking about. Go ahead, you got it.
Okay, so actually,
but and you can go down to the probate office and see maybe it's in probate somewhere. You can go down and see if it's in probate or but yeah, it's either in probate or it's you have to skip trace and find somebody or the neighbors. Absolutely, I like that idea.
So we did read it right the first time. He came back and said no. He honestly was the last one left. The last family member, like no kids, no spouse.
It gotta be in his estate somewhere.
Second cousin. This one's get real lucky.
Yeah, because it'll start breaking down to that level.
Yeah, it'll start.
Yeah.
Great niece. Your great
somebody.
Last one left.
Tied up somewhere.
Patricia, as Ty mentioned, we do see you down there. You do need to turn on and activate your video. Now, as we were talking about tools to have in your tool chest for being successful in wholesaling, we mentioned dilator.com, aka PropStream. You got Skip to Flip, you got Mail to Flip. You can also always, if it's an off-market deal, partner with Ty. But if you wanted to take your portfolio further than just wholesaling and start beginning to buy and hold or flip projects on your own, then you might want to reach out to another tool, which is Renikia's company, which is about financing your possible deals. Now you can reach out to her at fundmynextdeal.com, but Renikia, for those of us for them, because I know that don't know what services your company provides, what could you do for those that want to take wholesaling to the next level?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for giving me that layup. But most importantly, I think someone was just talking about, maybe I have a budget and PropStream is just not in my budget. But one of the things we have to also understand is, it's hard to save money like that. So we have to understand the power of our credit. Allows you to leverage your credit. If you have a 680 credit score higher, you are able to leverage your credit up to $150,000 of unsecured credit, which allows you to invest back into your business, buy those tools that you need, because those tools will make your life a lot easier. So it gives you the ability to, buy the tools that you need to even wholesale and the material that you need to do that. And also you're able to use that money to offset your down payments if you want to do a fix and flip, or be able to offset the debt service of handling a fix and flip and things of that nature. So that's really what a lot of people began building their wealth through their credit. So we have to understand the power of our credit, leverage your credit, so you're able to invest back into your business, invest back into your portfolio. We also are a direct lender for residential and commercial properties. We asset-based lenders, so we do not require tax returns, no bank statements, no income verification or pay stubs. Fully no doc type of loans that we offer, just credit and background, allows you to do your fix and flips, your buying whole. We have a true 30-year note, just like you went into the mortgage if you're looking to build rental properties. So we have a lot of great opportunity to help you finance your portfolio. So just go to fundmynextdeal.com if you're interested.
All right, guys, there you have it, fundmynextdeal.com. And Renikia is available across all social media platforms. Renikia Williams is how you could find her. So thank you for that. And we will put that back up before we close out for the end of our show. So Lindsay Investments has a question about a seller who has multiple properties. And so she wants to know, can you put more than one address on a purchase agreement if the seller is selling it as a package deal? Do we suggest that?
You can.
But when you start having multiple buyers, then you're going to need to have multiple agreements.
I don't like closing both deals like that, but
it depends if the seller has a requirement that all or nothing. Exactly.
And sometimes they do.
All right.
Okay. And it can all go on one purchase agreement. Put it in the special steps. You add some information in special steps or add an addendum to it.
All right, Lindsay, hopefully that answered that for you. So the guys, don't forget that you can most definitely go to flippinar.com to join us live and ask your questions, and we'll bump you to the front because we want to see your beautiful face and you give me a break. Okay. Earn passive income. That is correct. It is fundmynextdeal.com. So okay, so both fees. Yeah. What's up, guys? Do you know a lender that will lend to me with no income but a 700 plus score? That's kind of what we just said.
No income.
No, yeah.
No tax returns.
No tax return. Yeah.
No bank statement.
Fundmynextdeal.com. Reach out to Renika's office in like 24 to 72 hours, 48 to 72 hours for someone to return your call. But absolutely, both fees. That's what her company is there for, to assist in those special circumstances that you just mentioned there. So let's see here. Going for another question here. Terry's Cruise. I'm trying to put your questions together. Oh, he was responding to the houses that had cuts in the roof. They have cuts in them, 3 by 3 squares, nice homes boarded up. If you have fire damage, but on a small amount, external damage, mostly you have content on contact and damaged property. So I'm still not understanding why they're cutting holes in the roof. Is it to make it unlivable for squatters?
It ain't gonna make it unlivable for them.
Right.
You think
squatters live outside.
And which one you think is better, sleeping on a bridge or a house with a hole in it?
And sleeping in a holy roof house. But that's weird. I don't know what's that about.
I don't know what that's about, man. But anyway, it's still just down to repairs, my man.
Yeah.
What's ARV? What does it cost to repair it? What price you can get it at? It still boils down to that.
That's it.
Period.
All right, gotcha. Ty, you can answer this one specifically. What is the best recommended filter for dilator?
Well, I guess I just take you through it. Hold on a second.
Here we go.
Thank you for that curveball. So we're here. Well, it depends on if you're gonna do county, zip codes, name of a city or whatever. You can do it that way. So we'll just go with let me just do some zip codes here. We'll do some D area zip codes here. Let me see. 35211, 35208, 35218. You do up to 6, I think. 35. Let me see. Let's do Midfield 228. All right, and so so now it pulls 29,000 properties in those 4 zip codes. So I generally like to go with non-owner occupied. Sometimes I'll do occupied. And I like to go free and clear, right? Because we're on an equity hunt. In reality, as wholesalers, we're on an equity hunt. Now, if you're trying to do subject to and all that stuff, then that may not be as big of an issue. A bigger thing. I don't care if it's vacant or not. You can do it all vacantly, but I don't care if it's vacant or not. Done plenty of deals with people living there, whether it's the owner, relative, renter, or whatever. All right, property classification, residential, property type, single family. I don't care about the number of bedrooms, the bath. MLS status, I want it off the market, so no. Say on market, I said no. All right. Pre-foreclosure, bank down, I don't care about that. I want to deal with individual owners instead of corporate, mixed, or trust. So I'm dealing with someone that has a property actually in their name. Year of ownership, at least 1 year, right? And then you can do whether they live out of state or out of county or local. You can do all of that or whatever. So with just the criteria I just put in there, that comes up with a list of 2,500, right? 25, 46 to be exact. So from there, you would download the list or whatever, which I have videos to show how to do that. So there you go. That's one list or whatever. So
all right.
So now you can text, direct mail, cold call, What are you going? There we go. Coke
Coke is
Crawford
in the middle.
knows how to follow instructions. That's what, baby. Up. What's up, baby girl?
Okay.
Come
Welcome.
on, Coke.
All right. Thank you for. You gonna lie? You ain't not lying at him. Okay, there we go. Hey, Coke, how you doing? Thank you
Coke.
for joining us tonight.
What's Coke short for? That's what you were named.
I'm good. How are y'all?
Super
Oh no, that's my nickname.
Okay, what's your real name?
Dang. Cola.
There's not his government out there.
Real Coke.
We
I
ain't
can't
putting the government name out there.
Okay, go ahead. You got Crawford up there, Coke Crawford.
Okay, so my question is, I'm having issues with like sellers agreeing to a price verbally, but then you know they'll back out or
I'll go on there, mess with. Go ahead.
like they'll be all for it, you know, and then they just like no, never mind.
Really?
How can I avoid that?
How many times did that happen? Coke?
I'll say twice.
Oh, that ain't a lot, baby girl. Keep bang. You're doing good because you at least got sellers talking price. Go ahead.
That has happened about two times.
Okay. It's no big deal.
You know, it's just keep following up.
Yeah,
I mean, sometimes they're on the fence. Sometimes, you know, I mean, sometimes sellers are just emotionally attached. You know, maybe it's a lowball offer. Just keep following up. I mean, all they can do is just say no. So I would just keep following up. Send them the contract. Are you talking about verbal contracts, or you want them to commit verbally and then you send over the contract?
Well, just you know, with the place, and then you know we'll offer them a price, and they'll agree to it. But like, let's say over the weekend, we call them back on Monday, then they're like, never mind, we're not selling.
Yeah. Did you send the contract immediately after you after y'all agreed to it? Send the contract immediately, because honestly, when people start thinking things through, you do start second guessing yourself. So you know, sometimes you don't want to give them a chance to second guess it. You know, 2 or 3 days is enough time for people to get in your ear and oh, don't sell it and things of that nature. You're gonna send that contract to them immediately and let them know, hey, we're about to send it to you right now. What is your email address? Get it on over to them. I mean, it's still up to them to sign off on it, but at least you gave it over to them, and now now the ball is in their court to move forward.
Yeah, they've been and talked to their sister or something. Now my grandbaby need to stay.
Right. Exactly.
Hey,
not
they're going to do that after 3 months of the grandbaby not paying them. You see that? I know that. I told you not to do that or whatever. But what's that man number? What's that lady name? What her name? Pepsi.
That's why you keep following up. It's gonna work.
We're gonna call Pepsi back. Just follow up, man. You never know what people go through or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Okay. Thank y'all.
All right.
You're more than welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Oh, that was good.
Okay. It's going back to our question. Greg Black wants to know, how do you deal with the seller who lives at the property but doesn't want to allow an inspection of the interior of the property? So I'm gonna let you sell my house, but you can't come in here.
Well,
it happens. I mean, people have their personal stuff, they tied to it. It happens, but they have to understand, in order for me to I mean, they don't really know what you're doing, but you have to, from my experience, create the narrative that I have to get in, I have to inspect the property, I need to, bring my general contractors by. There's a lot of things I need to do. So you want to kind of set that stage. You need access at least 1 or 2 times into that property.
Yeah, you want to approach them the way you want to say that is to them, with a sense of humor. Now, Mr. Johnson, Would you buy a house without seeing the inside of it?
Exactly. Talk that talk.
You know what I'm saying? You want to go to him, not Mr. Johnson. Come on. Would you buy a house without seeing the inside of it? And he started laughing. Like, you right, Mr. Taylor. I know I am.
Right. Exactly.
So, anyway, I ain't saying that's gonna always work, but that's what you got to put them in your shoes or whatever. Now I say this, and he said, "Well, I understand, but I just can't let everybody be." I say, "Well, let's do this, Mr. Johnson. Give me. I know what we talked about in price. Now I need I can't see the inside price."
Okay. Okay.
Well, let's talk about that.
Or a video. Check the video.
Who, him? Well, he said he don't want me in the house.
He don't want other people in the house.
I took it. He didn't want me in the house.
Well, I'm saying, if you can come, then you need to take a video.
You still.
I mean, but I got a team. You know, they have to understand it's not just you. You're not you buying it. You're gonna be the contractor. You're gonna nail it too. You're gonna put the roof on.
I'm an expert on repairs, Mr. Johnson. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everything look fine to me, but contractor, well, we're gonna do this or that, and then I got capital partners. They got to come in, and hey, I thought, well, I got money, but I use other people money too. You wouldn't do that, Anyway, but you got to make them put them in your shoes or whatever. So.
Yeah. All right, thinking like a virtuous woman, you're absolutely correct. She says, right. You will have to assume the worst if you can't see it, and the offer price will be the worst case scenario.
Yep.
Absolutely.
We got to assume ain't no walls in this house, Mr. Johnson. You living in here like a cave, man.
No walls, no kitchen.
I got a kitchen. Let me see it.
We got to assume you got no plumbing, Mr. John. You ain't got no electrical wires, nothing. You the last cave, man.
I got cable.
Yeah, you got cable. You ain't got no TV to watch it on. You got to ran to the street.
I'm done with you. Okay. Hey guys, again, just mentioning Flippinar.com is where you can go to join us and ask your questions live, just like Coke did. And you can and you can ask the follow-up questions if need be. So Mia Bates has a question. I think you did a video on this.
RC.
You know what? Hush. So based off of the topic, what are some things you should not tell a seller? So let's give a top 5. Never tell a seller this. You're a wholesaler. Number 1.
Roof bill.
What?
Less is more.
Stop. Okay, top 5 things you should never tell the seller.
More information than they need.
Top 5 things you should never tell a seller.
Correct.
I don't know if it's 5 things.
Okay, well, top 3.
Well, I knew it. We ain't gonna try to get into explain wholesaling.
Okay.
Just like everybody's here, they got tons of questions, and a lot of you all spent hours and still don't know what you're doing. So imagine trying to explain this to somebody in 5 minutes. They're not gonna want to do business with you.
Okay.
But they're not sure what's going on. Not that you're trying to scam, but that's the impression that they're gonna feel because they don't know what. A lot of times, when you don't understand something, you think scam automatically. Right? Now it doesn't mean that. It just means you're not familiar with what we're talking about. Or what automatically mean that. So I get into that. So top 5 things. What now? What was the question?
Top 3. So number 1 is do not tell the seller that you're a wholesaler. Top 3 things not to tell a seller. What's number 2? Who your buyer is?
Well, you might not even know that at the time.
But if you did.
I don't know. That's I'm not thinking about it the right way.
Right.
It's sort of hard. That's the only thing
I think the most important piece of the conversation is just keep the conversation about the house.
Yeah.
Make them ask them more questions. You listen more.
Well, that's one thing. Do more listening than talking.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Talk less. Less is more when you're talking to a seller. Less is more.
I would say how much money you got. That ain't none of your business.
Well, that's a question that they're asking.
Well, they should meet. Yeah, they should. They would. Yeah,
I never had anybody ask me that. Not saying it ain't possible.
Because if I bring a contract, you're assuming I got the money. Unless I say I'm a wholesaler, then they automatically assume you don't have the money.
Okay. Okay. So process, should you tell a seller that you plan to use a hard or a private loan?
Oh, never tell them that you're going to market the property.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because that'll get that no call back for sure. So never tell them you out there marketing the property.
Oh no.
Unless, even though it's in that contract.
Put that back.
It's in Todd's contract. Isn't it in your contract to market the property?
Yeah, but they don't know.
They don't be looking at it though.
They don't be ready.
You don't put a lot of emphasis on that. Because that brings out more questions.
And if they trip about it, which I've had it to happen in the past, it's okay to omit it. Don't mean I'm gonna not still do it.
Right. I'm just not gonna do it publicly. I'm gonna send this email out to my list though. But yeah.
Okay. So never tell that you're a wholesaler and try to explain what that is to the seller. Talk less, listen more. Listen more, talk less. And then the third one was
you're not going to market you're not going to talk about you're going to market or advertise the contract, so the property and the property. I don't know.
Because they at that point you could be acting like a realtor too in some type of way, and they may think instantly, I might as well go get a real estate agent or a realtor to do this if that's what you're doing. So
all right. There we have it. Okay, so Dave Davis, 41, wants to know, how do I get a contractor to work on my properties? Oh, you pay them?
How do you get them on those? Well, I'm not sure what you mean.
So are we talking about getting a contractor there to help give you a quote for repairs? Or we're talking about to actually work on the properties because you want to flip it?
Which is a job for them, which is an opportunity for them to make money.
That's why.
That's an even transaction.
So clear that up for me, Dave Davis, and I promise I'll read the rest of your question if you follow up on that. So AB Boss, and this is again still from Instagram. Where do you get leads? Or where do I find leads in my area because it's saturated?
Number one, the area. Let's define the area. And how do you know it's saturated? There's no monitor or like you know what I'm saying?
Well, maybe they're saying because I'm not getting leads, then it must be saturated. Maybe you're just doing something wrong.
What are you doing to get leads? Let's establish that, right? People will tell you that we'll just use Atlanta as an example. It's saturated. It ain't possible.
Right. 7 million people here. And enough people can wholesale enough housing.
No.
That's true.
It ain't possible. You number one, what city are you in? What are you doing on a daily basis to generate leads? I guarantee you I can troubleshoot what your issue is, but it ain't saturation.
It ain't wet. Okay. Let's see here. Jonathan Canales, thank you for joining us. He says, I have Dilator and found a deal and want to accept the JV split with Flipman. I use Skip Trace. I have the number and email, and property is off the market. So you will go to dilator.com.
Hey, just put it up on the screen here. You're on YouTube. You can see it.
Okay. Go to dilator.com and send that deal over. Will be reviewed and within 48, 72 hours.
No. Quicker than that.
24.
Unless you post it on the weekend.
Okay.
The next day.
Okay.
Sometimes the same day, depending on what time you send it.
Okay. Within hours.
There you go. There you go.
Right back with you on that. Okay. Jonathan, just go ahead and go to diligence.com to submit that deal. And it'll be followed up on by Ty quickly. Okay.
Might not be personal about me, but yeah.
That follow-up.
It's getting worked.
Okay, so Virtuous Woman says, I'm in DC and it's definitely saturated. Okay.
No. Let's stop.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Bandit signs on every corner. Plus, we have a few major wholesaling companies in the DMV.
6 million people in Northern Virginia, DC, and what that be, Southern or whatever it is, Maryland. It ain't possible, man. If you're seeing a lot of bandit signs, Guess what?
They work.
They working.
Right. Put your band side right next to it.
And I'm telling you, guess what? They're working.
As always, McDonald's ain't worried about Burger King, and Burger King's not worried about Wendy's. Everybody survive on the same
Burger
street.
King, and I don't eat there a lot of stuff. You know, I might go there and get one of them terrible Impossible burgers or something. You know, sometimes you just be feeling. You just be feeling like that. Anyway, customer service is horrible.
Absolutely.
And they still getting it in.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I'm about to get, I'm like, oh, and I live in a pretty decent neighborhood, I think. And terrible, still getting it in. My point is, the competition is there. I am just naming those two restaurants, but you still have mom and pops that sell hamburgers that is probably exceeding their sales at those restaurants. Now they go and buy them because they're everywhere, but I'm just talking about mom and pop. They have 2 or 3 locations around the city or one, and making an unbelievable living. Don't worry about that, man. It ain't possible in a market of that size to be saturated. If you see abandoned signs, guess what? They are working. And you need to be doing the exact same thing. And that's just one form of marketing. That don't include all the other things you can do. Excuses.
She said she's still gonna try. She was just saying.
I know. You know,
you gotta think. At the end of the day, if I was a real estate investor and I'm in that market, what's better to know only one wholesaler or someone can provide me leads versus knowing everybody that can provide me leads? So understand that real estate investors are not just working with one wholesale group. They want to work with everybody because everybody got the ability to bring really great deals. So, and people connect with people who they personally want to do business with. Sometimes they'll call that band size and they just didn't like that customer service. So, and you gave them something more personable. So at the end of the day, competition is good. Continue because everybody's going to work with whoever they want to work with.
All right. Virtuous woman, hustle up. You got this. You'll be coming to us.
Virtuous woman?
You're linked up.
You that guy giving virtuous woman.
Yes.
Essence.
Cash that check in the DMV. Okay. Yes. I have total faith that you can make that work.
I definitely do. That's good.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Mia Bates wants to know, is it better to get a sub-2 with high or low equity?
High equity will always be better than low equity.
Okay.
Yeah, the more equity, more money. The safer the deal. The more equity, the lower the risk.
Absolutely.
On any real estate deal. The more equity, the lower risk, and normally the more money you can make. Normally.
And low equity is just probably not a deal. Yeah. If I'm buying it at retail, it's definitely not a deal.
Yeah. The only thing I could imagine a subject-to situation is the mortgage payment is lower, considerably low, and it's a high rent area, and you have that spread there that by even it's like you say, it's still tricky if it's still retail or whatever. But we'll just say the mortgage is $800, but you can rent in that area for $1,700. Okay, that's no brainer.
Cash flow is positive.
You know what I'm saying? That's a no brainer or whatever. Because that's almost that's $900 if my math, whatever. So, it's no brainer at that.
No, if you're buying cash flow or you buying it to flip to a buyer.
Okay, so Frost Friction wants to know, do you have any advice on dealing with properties that are in a family trust?
It's still a human being. Still a trustee. Sometimes they may be a little more difficult to reach or whatever, but.
Right. And sometimes it's harder to sell properties out of trust. Reach them. It's just a conversation to see if they're trying to sell, but a lot of times it's hard to revoke those properties out of trust.
Yeah.
It's in a trust for a reason.
All right, let's see here. There you have it. Let's go through this thing here. Red Run Son, I'm gonna ask this question. We kind of covered this, I think, last week on the video on the back histories of getting started with wholesaling and things you would have known. His question is, or her question is, what's something you wish you had known or done when you first started? Last week we talked heavily about the bootleg version of the wholesaling program.
They had that question last week, man.
That's what I said. That's what I just said.
Oh, I wasn't listening.
That was a question.
Red Sun wasn't with us last week though.
Okay.
So
I ain't gonna talk like I did last week.
please
Watch
don't.
the last 20 minutes of last week.
Or
more
that's the same
detailed
question from last week?
I think it was something similar to that one.
Something similar.
It was. What would you do differently?
What would you do differently?
It was how can you do this and still work a 9 to 5?
That was not what the question was. It was absolutely.
I don't remember that one.
It was absolutely.
But I do kind of remember something.
It was something. It was the last 20 plus minutes.
But it was really good. It was really good.
It was the last 20 plus minutes. I went into a diatribe of how I got started. It was something like that. I ain't gonna do that tonight.
It was something like that.
We'll go back and watch 176, and we went into it or whatever. But what was that question?
It was just something you wish you had known before you.
I'll just give you one thing. It was something similar to that. I know what the question was.
What was the question?
The question was, what are your strengths in this? Or whatever. I think that's what the question. What are your strengths to make you successful in this?
Absolutely, that's exactly what it was.
And I think that's exactly what it was. It'd be easy to tell you what my faults are. Then we went in it. Okay,
that's
really.
right.
Yeah, that was what it was. That was really good. That was really good.
Boy.
Yeah, you got to jog it a little bit, but
what? Hey, the old man. Hey, y'all can't trick me.
Was it?
So what's this question?
The question was, something you wish you had known or done when you first started. Could it have been save more of the money?
I just save more money. I can automatically answer that question for you.
Save more of the money. Yeah. Okay, Randy, what's yours?
What I would have done different.
No, just something you wish you had known or done.
Oh, something I wish I had known.
Oh, no, that's different. That's a different question. Well, still the same thing. Still the same thing. I was somewhere in a little emotional thing going on, whatever. So that was part of it, whatever. But what I would have known, maybe a little bit more about commercial initially than I did later on or whatever. Not that I'm just expert in that now, but I'm just saying just exposed to it a little faster. I can say that. Maybe something else, but just off the top of my head.
That's a good question. I mean, I started off in the know, because I went to school for real estate. So I started off in the know. So I think one of the things I would have done earlier, I wish I would have done more of it, just been more confident in my walk when everybody else wasn't thinking about real estate. So a lot of times, that first 5 years or so, it kind of discouraged me. And knowing that I knew what I knew, I should have just went hard from day one, no matter what people thought. So I think, just being more confident and just knowing that I knew real estate was that vehicle, but I allowed so many people around me to kind of, slow my walk when I first started. So probably just being, just knowing how powerful real estate was and just being confident in that walk.
All right. There you have it, Red Sun. Thank you for joining us. You said you weren't with us last week, but we're thankful that you're here with us this week. And please continue to join us every Thursday that we go live, where you can ask your questions in regards to wholesaling real estate with little to no cash or credit. So D'Angelo Cox has a question, and it's, what do you do with houses with upcoming auction dates?
Depends on how far it is out, right?
Yeah, it really depends how far it's out. Sometimes you can stop the auction date by, only the owner owns the house can stop the auction date if there's a reasonable contract out there to purchase it. But other than that, it's going to get auctioned off. What do you think? What was the question?
It say what can you do to stop the auction date?
What do you do when it's an upcoming auction date?
Oh.
So how do you stop it? How do you make it a deal? What's the process if it's like going up for auction in 14 days?
The homeowner. The homeowner is the only one who can really stop that auction by saying that either going to bring it up to, bring the payments up to date, or you got a arm's length transaction contract for someone to buy it to stop it. But other than that, if it's too close to the auction date, you won't be able to stop it.
I don't know.
I got to show y'all before we finish.
Okay, Shaq, you joined us. Shaq is our faithful viewer from West Side Detroit. I'm glad you're here, Shaq.
All right, let me just go on and show this. Wow,
my gosh, I'm afraid.
Let me see. Let me see what we got here.
Oh gosh, what is it?
Where is it? Let me see. I want y'all to critique this TikTok, my video person just created here. And let me see.
She made this one.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute.
Well, you said you were alright. Okay. I can take you there. Yeah. That's all you gotta do is say that one time. Okay.
Oh.
Wait, let's see.
Energy made this one. Yeah. Well, you said you were alright. Okay. I can take you there. Yeah.
Did someone create that? Oh. Wow. Did someone create that? That's super.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, I just got emailed that I just wanted to put it up. But anyway, so hey, we can do whatever we want. This is the internet, man. Let's roll. What's the next question?
Okay. Okay, so I like this question here. Let's go ahead. Greg Black says, when marketing, do you recommend branding yourself or a company brand? Well, Ty, what you gonna say with yourself? Because you got Flipman.
But that's not me.
That's not you.
That ain't my name.
Oh my God. Oh wow.
That's not my name.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
That's the brand. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, I've done.
You create your brand, right? You are your brand.
Yeah, you are your brand. You know what I'm saying?
You know?
A lot of people don't even know my name. But that's intended or whatever. When you think about wholesaling, I like to think you think about me as others you could think about, obviously. But that was the intent or whatever. So whatever, the brand. A lot of
create
times
the corporate veil, but be your brand. Create the corporate veil, but when people think of your brand, they should think of you.
Yeah, they should think about.
They just go hand in hand if you do it right.
Yeah, think about what you do when they hear your name. They know what that's associated with. That's the purpose. Whatever service or business you offer, product, whatever service or product you offer, or whatever, that's branded. Now, if that's your actual name, like a lot of actors or musicians, you think about Denzel Washington, you don't think about dish detergent, you think about acting, movies, being entertained, great actor. You know what I'm saying? You think about, I don't know, Billie Eilish, think about music. Yeah. Is it Eilish? Did I say it right? I'm trying to be. Hey,
we got to
say it right. And I just learned that yesterday.
We see.
I tried to download a song I heard of a female, right?
Yes, she is.
Okay, and download the whole album. I said, that ain't what I intended to do now. I just wanted that one song. Anyway. But yeah, it's branding. It's dilator. I try to pound it down y'all throat. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know PropStream. You call and ask for dilator or whatever. So that's branding.
Yeah.
That's why Coke Walmart,
Right.
you know, Amazon. That's why they have these logos and symbols.
Right. And then Jeff Bezos is Amazon. But when you think of Jeff Bezos, you think of Amazon.
Yeah, you think about it. You know what I'm saying? But you know, he wants you to think about Amazon. He just to buy product of that because he's one of those billionaires that's known. But most billionaires we don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They got a brand that they are behind, whether it's publicly traded or something they started or whatever, but you don't know who owns it or who started it or who has this or that or interest in it or whatever. That's what most businesses, period, whether it's a mom and pop in a lot of cases to your multi-billion, in some cases, $1 trillion companies or whatever. So,
I mean, when you fill in these, when you fill in these brands, there's not a hustle. So think it all the way through. I mean, you want people to look at your brand like a Fortune 500. So think about how do a Fortune 500 create their corporate veil? It's not the CEO in front.
Marketing their butt off.
Yeah, they're marketing their butt off, and it's not the CEO in front. So they create a brand. So you want to think it all the way through. Create a nice brand that you can stand in front of, stand beside of, and you know, and blow it up.
Yeah, I'm trying to make a decision on spending a whole lot of money on an actual website name. Something I've never done before. I think it'll pay for itself or whatever. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it though, but stay tuned.
That's a whole investment in itself.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you know, a lot of people buy and sell.
The one I'm thinking about buying,
I'm sure it's the one. I'm sure.
It falls right. Oh, it falls right in line with this business.
Ooh.
Be like, whoa.
Wow.
Whoa.
But yes.
Whoa.
Okay. Boom.
Y'all know how I run with something.
Pow.
All this other stuff I made up dilator, that ain't no word.
But it's catchy.
But it's catchy, you know what I'm saying?
And people gonna remember it.
Yeah, so you know.
It is now. All right, guys.
What we got?
Do you need? Well, we haven't had this question asked in a while. Do you need to file under LLC before you start marketing what you want your future brand to be?
Certainly, you can have an EIN, sole proprietor situation.
No, not necessarily. Ideally, you know, you want to start doing them together, but it ain't. You know,
Ideally, you do.
Yeah.
But you can get an EIN number and start marketing it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. William, thank you for joining us.
Now I'm going. Who was that last question?
What?
What's his name? What my boy name was?
Frost Fiction.
Now, if it's anybody that takes advantage of all of this free content and all of these lives, he is here tonight. Here an hour ago, when I was doing the Comps 101 show. He's on all the dailies. Hey,
he's ready. That's somebody that really want to understand what's going on.
That's what I'm talking about, man. He is all in.
They'll get your free idea.
Nobody else stuff, but he is all in on my 2 cents. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you consuming the content.
All right, there you go, Frost. Thanks for always joining us. The next question was going to be from William, and it was going to be: have any of you ever dealt with a potential seller in a reverse mortgage situation? If so, what was done to close the deal?
The only one that I've had, the deal fell through.
I had one closed. I purchased that property. She was an older woman. She had a reverse mortgage, and I was so really sad for her because she got herself into something she didn't really know, and it ate up a lot of her profits. But I bought it anyway. But you know, it's no different from if someone has a mortgage on a property. All it is a mortgage. It has to be paid off. So I mean, it's no different from a regular mortgage. It's just a mortgage. That reverse mortgage is paying her. However, it's connected to life insurance. All of that just get paid off at the closing table. So the key is reverse mortgage is connected to a life insurance. So instead of the elders paying their mortgage, the mortgage company paid them, and when they pass away, the life insurance pay the whole mortgage off. But when you sell it, the life insurance doesn't have to pay it off because the person who bought it, will pay that mortgage off. So it's just no difference.
They give the family 6 months to be able to either pay it off or it goes back to the mortgage company, something like that.
You talking about as far as that reverse mortgage situation?
Mm-hmm.
The key is that it pays off. The life insurance that is connected, it's a life insurance policy that's connected to those reverse mortgages, and when someone passes away, it actually get paid off.
That's a serious hustle there.
It is. And it's very sharky too.
Yeah, I know.
It's very sharky. They don't realize what they're doing. All they see is getting that $600-700 a month, but it's real sharky to the older people. But just get them to get a payoff letter. And their mortgage company gonna get them provide a payoff letter. They're gonna provide that to the attorney, and then the money, the proceeds that come in is just gonna pay it off.
All right. Joe Hydro, how's it going? Thank you for joining us. I see you on TikTok there. Let's see here. Take a couple more. I'm amazing stock puncher, but wholesaler. Sorry, I came in late. Okay. So Ken Wells says, sorry, I came in late, but I have a seller who has several properties but wants to sell them as a package deal. What is the best way to get them under contract? 4 separate purchase and sales agreement for a buyer and seller?
See, the key behind that whole package deal is most likely your end buyer is not gonna want all 4 of those properties. A lot of times they package it up as one real good one and the other ones is like just crappy. But a lot of times it's hard to sell those package deals and basically wanting the end buyer to want all 4 of them. A lot of times the end buyer kind of wants to cherry pick. So you want to ask them, okay, I'll purchase all 4, but can I sell them separately? And that's a conversation you have to have with the seller, because they may, make a big deal where they want to sell them all as a one package deal at the closing table. So it really depends on how that seller wants to transact that. But you want to have that conversation up front, because most likely you're going to probably have to bring multiple buyers in to buy cherry pick. So you want to have that conversation up front so you can structure your deal correctly.
Okay. Kim Wells, hopefully that answers your question there. You're welcome, William, for the question that you asked earlier that we did answer. And let's see here. Renikia, this is a question for you. What are some of the best ways to get creative financing for the 10 to 30% a hard or private lender would want?
Okay, so that's a really great question. I call it finding the money or gap funding. So you can use your unsecured credit to be able to, you can leverage your credit for unsecured credit. OPM is really the #1 way as well, and that's pretty much raising money through your network of people who want to invest into your deal. You could, just first of all, leverage your credit first. Finding some other partner, I call it a credit partner, who can leverage their credit. Find an equity partner, someone who maybe have cash to invest into your deal, to help you get to that money as well. You have, people have this money in their 401ks and pensions. You can roll that into a SEPTA IRA, so they can invest into your property tax-free, penalty-free, as ways as well. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. So, and this one as well, this is for you, Renikia. If funding is needed for a deal, must the deal be in place first, or can I secure funding ahead of a deal? And how long are the terms for hard money for fix and flips?
Good question. So if you're dealing with a traditional bank, you will go get your financings prior. You'll go get you'll go get financing or some type of pre-approval prior, because they prove you based on your financials. As far as a private lender like myself, we prove you based on the asset. So no matter what your financials look like, I prove you based on the asset. So we can't prove you with no asset. So once we see the asset, I mean, I can prove you for $100,000 property today, and I can prove you for $1 million property tomorrow, because we'd approve you based on asset. A traditional bank will approve you based on your financials. So they'll tell you, okay, based on your financials, your highest loan that you can get was $350,000. So that's when you'll take that pre-approval and you'll go shop for a property around $350. With the private lender, we don't prove you based on your financials. We don't really care what your financials are. All we care about is you have an ability to bring the money to the table to close. So we're just more of an asset-based lender, and we prove you based on the property.
All right, there you have it, guys. And where you can reach out to Renika and her company is at fundmynextdeal.com. It's on your screen there. For those of you on TikTok, Instagram, you probably can't see it, but I know on Facebook and YouTube you can. Go back at about an hour and 14 minutes in, and the banner there has all of her information. She's available across all social media platforms, and that's the beautiful Miss Renika Williams. Yes. So Thomas Colvin, no video then. How you gonna come in at the last? Come on now, where your face at? I cannot see you. Guys, what we do is we're here every Thursday, Lord willing, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 Eastern. Ty is on during the day with the live Q&A. It's normally 11 Central Time, 12 Eastern. Yeah. That gives you the opportunity to ask your questions at that moment. And then on Thursdays, he does do
Thomas up here.
The comps where you can comp your questions. And every time we do these shows, guys, you can join us live at flippinar.com as Thomas has. So welcome, Thomas. How are you?
Okay.
Where did Thomas go? Okay. Well, he was there with us, and then he.
Hey, don't forget about the CRM, guys. If you need a CRM system to manage your leads, YouTube search Flipman CRM, or you can tap the link in this description of this particular YouTube video. You need a CRM to manage your leads, which create follow-up, which creates more deals, more checks, and normally more smiles because you are getting checks. So
money makes smiles.
Money makes smiles. I think Thomas is back up. Let me see. There you go. You want to do it? I got it.
Go ahead.
Boom.
Hey, Thomas, thank you for joining us as we're closing out today's show. What's your question?
Venus. Thomas.
Is your video on?
I think he's frozen.
Your sound.
All right, well. All right, Tom, we'll see you next week, man.
Hold on, let me see here. Sound on. I put it in private chat. Okay, guys. So just make sure you try it again one more time.
What?
Put them up one more time. I put it in. Never mind.
No, that's right.
All right, guys. So we're going to close out today's show. Please join us next week. As always, hit the like, subscribe, join, and get notified anytime new content is uploaded across all social media platforms. Make sure you follow X Flipman. And without anything else, guys, start today. Not one day, but today. And we will see you all on the flip side. Thank you.
Flip man, it's the flip man. You want some money in your hand? Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Get that.